Hi, I'm Brian Georgetieno, news anchor at KTN News and business reporter with the same station. I know you've been wondering why there is this phenomenon of fuel shortage and fuel crisis, and of course the worst of it is that some stations do not have fuel at all and all petroleum products. This is something I'm seeing for the very first time in my life, and that's why it's interesting. But then, how did we get here? I'm going to give you a bit of background, what happened, and then the impact of it and why you do not have fuel in your gas station. Russia attacked Ukraine on the 24th of February 2022. Ukraine and Russia and other countries used to be part of USSR. USSR in full is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Now, that is not why we are here. Why we are here is why they attacked Ukraine, right? And the impact it's having on you, the Kenyan, and how you're consuming the oil products. So a bit of background, and I want you to put a pin to this. Russia is the third largest oil producer in the world. Now put a pin to that. When they attacked Ukraine, the global oil supply chain was affected. That is factor number one. Factor number two is that after that attack, there are countries that put sanctions on Russia, meaning they are limited in the number of countries they can trade with. Key among them, of course, Kenya and a larger part of the African continent. And why this is happening is because if somebody trades with Russia, or if a country trades with Russia, they also risk being sanctioned. When the third largest producer of oil in the whole world has been affected, that means that there is a shortage in the supply of oil in the market. The law of supply and demand has it that when a commodity's supply is low and the demand remains the same or goes higher, the prices automatically will go high. Even before this fuel issue came into being, we were buying fuel at 134 shillings per litre. Put a pin to that, I'm going to tell you why. Countries right now, or rather in Kenya right now, you'll be buying fuel per litre at 155 Kenya shillings. That has never been seen before. How is the issue in Russia affecting you 5,000 miles away here in East Africa in Kenya? Of course, we've talked about the disruption in the oil supply chain. Now, in the oil business or in the oil ecosystem, there are people who are called oil marketing companies. You know some of them. The oil marketing companies are the big companies that take the oil from the processors. Some of them just take it as raw as it is, and they come and market it to the last mile user, who is you and me. So now these oil marketers, the big oil marketing companies, have the oil. They already got it with the price they got it with out there, all right? And because the oil prices in the global market are high, they want to sell at a high price. Now the government says there is no way we can allow this to happen. Why? Because we have to protect the mwananchi, because the cost of living is going to go high. All right? Mpaka hapo tuko sawa? Remember, you are buying at 134, now you risk even buying it at 159, 160 per litre. But the government does not want you to buy at 159 or 155. So what does the government do? Talks to the oil marketers and tells them, hey, listen, for the mwananchi not to be hurt, allow me to absorb a bit of this cost, let's say 20 shillings or 10 shillings, so that the mwananchi pays the difference. Now, the sad thing is that government sadly has not disbursed that subsidy to the oil marketer. So what does the marketer do? The oil marketer do? They do what is called hoarding. They now hold back, wanashikilia hii mafuta yao, and that's why you're hearing things like cartels are holding oil. It's not really cartels, it's just business. If I want to sell to you with the market price and somebody says he wants to protect you from me selling you the market price, but he's not doing that, it only makes business sense for me to stay with my product. So that is why the oil marketers are holding back their oil, and you stay without the oil while the government looks at how and when to sort the oil marketing companies with the subsidy that they promised or that they should be doing, so that you can be able to afford oil. So that is why there is a shortage. Si ati hakuna mafuta. So let's say the marketers say, okay, fine, the government is forcing us to release the fuel without giving us the subsidy. This is what we will do. They will release the fuel to the market. You will buy it expensively. When you buy it expensively, the cost of manufacturing goes high, the cost of electricity will go high, because remember, oil is a sure trigger for everything. to go high. Oil is a sure trigger for inflation. The fare you pay to commute to work is going to be very high, and every other thing is going to be really, really expensive. So that is what the government is protecting you from. Remember, we're in a pandemic. Remember, we are coming from a period when the economy has been battered really hard. How deep is this concern? The oil marketing companies are saying the government owes them 32 billion Kenya shillings. On this other side, the government is saying, the petroleum and mining ministry is saying, no, we don't owe that much. The only money we owe them is 13 billion Kenya shillings. So who is saying the truth? Understandably, those negotiations are going on, and by Wednesday, you should be having a solution.